How's everybody doing today? So this is, I think it's week 13 or 14, but I'll put it in the header of my Zepbound journey. And I had been having an allergic reaction to something last week. So my primary care physician, well, I thought it was the Zepbound. My dermatologist, my endocrinologist asked me to stop the medication for 2 weeks and then restart it. And if the rash comes back, then I can't take it anymore. So then I thought to myself, I'm assuming that this is what it is, but it could be something else. So I contacted my primary care physician and went in and saw them. So they were probably thinking that it was a reaction to the antibiotic I had been put on by my dermatologist. So he wanted the dermatologist to put eyes on me the same day. I managed to secure an appointment to see my dermatologist, and the dermatologist disagreed. She felt that what I had was hives. She felt that I was possibly having either a reaction to the Zepbound. She said it didn't look like a reaction to the antibiotic that she prescribed because she's seen reactions to that on someone's skin, and it didn't look like that. But she also thought it could have been a photosensitivity reaction to the hydrochlorothiazide because the rash was showing up on areas that were just exposed to the sun, like my chest, my shoulders, my arms, only on the tops of my arms, not the bottom, couple spots on my legs, not too much there or anywhere else. So they wanted me to stop 3 things because they're like, who knows at this point, they all disagree with each other. So I stopped the Zepbound. This is one finished week with no dose. I stopped the antibiotic, which I was coming to the end of the antibiotic cycle anyway, so that's no big deal. And my primary care, I referred all the information back to him, or relayed the information from the dermatologist to my primary care and to my endocrinologist. Sucks being an advocate for yourself, but it is what it is. You have to, in this day and age, like you have to take control of your health care. So I relayed all the information to my primary care, and he said to stop the hydrochlorothiazide as well. So I'm supposed to skip. I skipped last week. I'm skipping this week. So next week I could take a dose again. I'm not sure whether I should go back to the 5 milligram, to the 7.5 milligram, or to the 10 milligram I was already on. Because if you miss, I forget if it's more than 2 doses or if it's 2 doses or more, you're supposed to bump down, but I don't want to start back at 2.5. So I think the lowest I would go would be 5. And I'm not sure my insurance company would cover a 2.5 because it's a titration dose and I've already done that. So it's like conundrum, what do I do? So I've been trying to be super smart with my food choices, much like I was doing throughout the Zepbound journey. Low carb, high protein, trying to get in all my protein and everything. I was craving more this last week than I had the week before. I'm up about 2 pounds from the previous week. Some of that could be fluid because the hydrochlorothiazide was intended to help me with idiopathic edema. Yeah, I'm like one of those patients that has idiopathic issues. So idiopathic edema means unexplained. Unexplained swelling. So I used to get what I called tankles because like cankles, my ankles were much more than cankles. They were giant and the swelling would go from my toes all the way to my knees. So I called them tankles because they were giant. So I'm thinking I'm probably retaining a little more fluid than I was previously. I'm hoping that that goes away as my body adjusts to no hydrochlorothiazide, but if my ankles and feet start to swell again, I will contact my primary care physician and get on another diuretic. So I'm a complicated patient. I do not present normally under any circumstances, and this is not just me, it's like every member of my family. So I kind of have to pick apart my own healthcare scenarios to figure out what's happening. I was also supposed to start Skyrizi this week. I'm assuming that the dermatologist wanted me on that because of the psoriatic nails, which probably means I have psoriatic arthritis. I do have arthritis throughout multiple parts of my body. Fun times, feet, knees. I had my hip replaced last year. Disc degeneration in my back, which is probably part of the psoriatic arthritis. I have soreness in my hands and fingers sometimes, although I don't show on x-ray that I have arthritis there. I do believe that I have whatever the precursor would be for that. So they wanted to start me on the Skyrizi because I am showing signs of psoriasis in my fingernails and toenails. That took a while because the copays for them would be ridiculous. So I had to get a different insurance to cover that part of it, because I don't know about you, but I can't afford $6,000 a month for a 30% deductible or copay for a medication. So there was a program out there that I applied for that will cover that. The problem was I was supposed to start that the week I started breaking out in the hives or the rash. So because of that, I felt it was a good idea not to start it. I relayed that to all of my doctors and told them that I was not comfortable starting the medication while I was showing medication reaction or allergy to something. So they all agreed that I could start the Skyrizi at any point in time. So I'm going to wait until all of this resolves, because I have it all up and down my arms and across my chest. It's better, but I am taking Allegra, Allergy, and Hives to kind of keep all of that at bay. I'm hoping that it continues to subside, and then I will probably start back the Zepbound before I start back anything else, because I was having tremendous success. I had lost 38 pounds. I gained back 2, so now I'm at 36 pounds lost since the mid of April. I think I started April 17th. So I'm now, April to May to June, July, August, that was 4 months. So I lost roughly, it would have been 10 pounds a month if I had been able to stay on track with it. But I was afraid it was an allergy, so I wanted to err on the side of caution. I'm not a medical professional. I just know what I have to do to take care of myself, and how to advocate for myself with my medical team. And I advise you all to do the same, because although I am not a medical professional, I do not offer medical advice here. I do want people to be able to speak clearly, plainly, and educated to their doctors about what their issues are in their life. So this isn't just Zepbound. This is overall health, wellness, and well-being, whether it be mental health, physical health, any of it. Because the medical field was already kind of shifting away from the way it was when I worked as a front desk manager or billing in a surgical center. Like I have, physical therapy experience, et cetera, et cetera. So I knew how the medical field worked back in the 90s and in the early 2000s, but things took a shift after that, and then they took another shift after COVID fatigue for medical personnel. And I do understand that it has been an incredibly hard journey and exhausting for all of them. But the problem is, this means that we need to be more aware of what our needs are as a patient and be able to speak with our teams and help direct our care in the proper direction. I don't feel like it's being like a WebMD to research issues that you're having with your body and to advocate strongly for yourself if you feel that you've either been misdiagnosed, ignored, or like that it's been written off that you're crazy. Back in the day, I say back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, I was told by a pulmonologist that she felt I had a mood disorder because I always showed up weepy, which was frustration and anger, that I couldn't get out of my body the way I wanted to. And I asked her if she graduated with a double major, and she was like, "Pardon me?" And I said, "Did you or did you not have 2 degrees when you graduated from college?" And she said, "No, I only had one." And I said, "Stick to your lane. I have people that are in the mental health lane taking care of my mental health. You just stick to your lane, which is sleep pulmonology." And then I fired her because that was completely negligent and it was malpractice. Like, you can't walk around saying things like that when you're a doctor that deals with pulmonology, like lung issues. Like, stick to your lane. I said more than that to her, but it just basically is to tell you she misdiagnosed me. She couldn't give me a proper diagnosis because she didn't know what was wrong with me. She knew that something was there, but they diagnosed it as idiopathic hypersomnia, which is unexplained sleepiness, and EDS, which is excessive daytime sleepiness. That didn't answer my questions. They told me on paper I looked fine, and I said I'm not a piece of paper. I don't know how often I've had to say that throughout my life, but I'm not a piece of paper, I'm a person. And I know what's going on in my body, you don't. So I have to keep advocating very strongly for myself to get the proper diagnoses. And I did get a proper diagnosis, but it took 2 sleep specialists, 3 pulmonary sleep doctors, and 4 or 5 overnight sleep studies, 1 physician observed study, and a daytime latency test to diagnose me as having complex or mixed apnea. Not sure what took so long to diagnose that, but it is what it is. So all of that just to say that even in this bump in the road with Zepbound, you have to be all over your medical care. You have to know how you respond to things, and you have to be able to relay that to your doctors. Unfortunately, because I'm a complicated patient and I have a lot of medical issues, and I also have a lot of medications that I take, it makes it like a layered, complex situation where I have multiple doctors and multiple diagnoses and multiple medications, and they're all just trying to sort through it. So I need help in that arena to say, this is how long I've been taking this medication. This one was new. This one's been there forever. I've had this reaction before. I haven't had this reaction before. So, I mean, it is what it is. I can't really change it. I can only try and take control of part of this situation, the part I can control, and just stay the course, right? So I'm going to continue to keep on top of my water intake. I'm going to continue to keep on my high protein, low carb diet. I'm going to continue to try and make super healthy choices for myself as far as food goes. And I'm going to try and just be calm and just accept that it is what it is, and that I'll get through this no matter what. If I have to stop taking the Zepbound, my doctor already said that he would shift me to the Wegovy, which is the semi-glutide. I'm currently on Zepbound, which is the tirzepatide. And there are other options that my insurance company covers. I'm just not sure that I'm comfortable with the other options that are available to me. So that's the update currently. Eli Lilly is still saying that there are no more shortages on the Zepbound or Mounjaro, but I still see in a lot of groups that I'm members of that people are still having issues getting their hands on it. Eli Lilly did release the vials so that people could self-dose with a needle and the little sterile vials for a 2.5 and 5 milligram dose medication so that they could focus more fully on the 7.5, the 10, the 12.5, and the 15. That would free up more of those pens. And the starting doses there are lots and lots of new starting doses all the time. So that will definitely help alleviate some of that bottleneck situation that they were having. I think it was a great idea. I think they should have gone up to 7.5 with the vials, but I'm not the FDA and I'm not the medication company, the pharmaceutical company, so I have no control over that. I'm just relaying to you what the new news was. And the other news yesterday said that, Zepbound, when taken prior to becoming a diabetic, so if you're pre-diabetic or not having an insulin reaction, it reduced the likelihood of people getting diabetes by a staggering 94%. 94%, you would completely avoid getting diabetes. So that's now cardiovascular health, cholesterol, heart attack and stroke, or heart diseases, and now it was also sleep apnea. It helps with sleep apnea because the reduced weight causes less chance that you will have your throat closed while you're sleeping. And in addition to that, now is the new news about that. So that's everything. This was a longer video than I intended to make, but I obviously want to give you guys the most up-to-date information that I have available to me. I have seen these on a bunch of news channels, so you can definitely research all of those facts. They are facts, if you want to learn more about it. So that's the end of the update for this week. Wish me luck for the next week. Next Wednesday, I will consult with my doctor to find out what dose I can start at next Wednesday. And I'm wondering if I can start it even a little early, maybe do it on Tuesday, because I don't know how big the struggle is going to be in this upcoming week. But I'm hoping it's not too bad. So wish me luck. And again, yeah, wig life. You can see all my pretty ladies back there. So I'm wearing Main Attraction Showgirl in chestnut color just because I wanted something different. I just did the live sale in my group. You can find me on Facebook at Beth's Wig Boutique. And you can also find me under Beth Pigeon, Pidgeon. You can follow me I'll be dropping recipes. I'll be definitely posting more on my social media. I'll be posting like low carb or no carb or Atkins or carnivore type stuff. In addition to that, I live the wig life, so lots of wig stuff. You can feel free to send me a private message on Facebook if there's something I can help you with within either of those arenas. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just here doing me, sharing what I have experienced in my journey for hair loss and for my weight loss. So I hope you all are having a successful week, and I look forward to updating you all next week with the hope that the Zepbound isn't the cause and I can restart it again. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have an awesome Wednesday. Take care. Bye now.